Warning. The following video contains strong language that some viewers may find offensive or disturbing.
I can't breathe. Black Lives Matter. I saw a live stream from Charleston where they were organizing and getting ready to march. The police were right next to the protesters and the two parties were talking and working with each other about what needs to be done so that everyone involved can go home safely after. It was very civil and honestly uplifting to see black protesters working with white police officers in this political climate. And in a way that makes sure no one gets hurt. Innocent people don't lose homes or business. Another protester got up and said that he talked to the neighborhood association asking permission to use certain streets and how they need to be respectful of the property because destroying it isn't going to help anyone. But then, some stupid little white kid got up. And I quote, "They want us to be peaceful. We need to fuck everything up to get our point across." He was met with boos and blank stares. The whole stream was a great example on how the peaceful people in the crowd protesting are the ones who want real change and the rioters don't care about the cause. They just want to watch this country burn. Literally and metaphorically. I want to start by saying that when I say Black Lives Matter there is an implied "to" at the end. I am not saying my life matters more, or your life matters less. Just that mine is equally important and not viewed as such by unfortunately many people. All lives matter is disrespectful because it negates the purposeful attention we are trying to draw to black injustice specifically. I need you to please understand that racism is not the racism they taught us in school anymore. Modern racism is giving black people higher interest rates or bad loans, which a bank was sued millions for doing in 2017. Its relators purposely not showing black people houses in nicer areas. Its companies only hiring 1 to 5 black people for their quota and not for their merit. Which is ironically racist towards whites who potentially deserved it more, spurring more division. Its colleges only accepting black people to make themselves look good on paper instead of actually valuing that students' strengths and potential. It's enforcing laws in school that don't allow black people to wear their natural hair because it is unprofessional and a distraction to other students. It's makeup companies only having 1 to 3 dark foundation shades because we are a demographic without money and thus not worth pursuing, and then suddenly coming out with more shades once they see how successful Rihanna was when she acknowledged us. It's crooked police purposely going into low-income areas, scanning license plates, and purposely ticketing people they know cannot afford it, so that they will go to jail for outstanding tickets and become a part of the for-profit prison pipeline. It's fashion companies and movies using damaging stereotypes of black people instead of showing how diverse and beautiful our people are. Thus instilling an untrue idea of what black people are to others across the world. Imagine you're from a place with no black people. If all the movies and shows portray us a certain way, you'll assume that must be true. When I first started at my old place of employment, a very nice tech company, I had a black janitor stop me one morning as I was heading up to the office. Tears in his eyes, he gripped my shoulder, his hands frail, wrinkled, and told me how proud of me he was. How happy he was that a little black girl was working at one of them tech companies. I hugged him and told him thank you. When I tell you I ran to the bathroom and bawled my eyes out. I was so grateful, but that is a heavy burden to carry. Not only was I working for me, I was working for him. For all my ancestors who didn't have a chance. And when I was let go 2 months ago, it hit hard because it felt like not only did I fail me, I failed them. I realize it was not my fault. A virus hit the country and I was a part of a mass layoff. But do you see how race played into my emotional state? Something most others wouldn't have to deal with. So please, when you see Black Lives Matter, when you see protest, know that all we're asking for is change. Yes, we have civil rights. But why are you scoffing at us asking for more? Why are we expected to accept the bare minimum? As a kid, mind you, I was born in 1996, I was given the talk that my skin means I have to conduct myself a certain way. In certain environments. For my own safety. That people will fear me for simply having too much melanin. That I will be black first. You're lovely second until I die. I am trying my hardest to create a future where I don't have to give my kids that same speech. Where I don't have to pass down that generational trauma. If you have questions about the protesting, the movement, modern racism, ask me please. I know it can be a heated topic and the only way to change that is to have an open dialogue and educate. This is me offering the olive branch. Me saying I am hurting and still have nothing but love in my heart. Too often we are too busy trying to share our thoughts that we don't hear others. Edit, I've gotten a lovely amount of responses. I'm in Boston and it's currently 12:13 a.m. I'm trying to get a semi-regular sleep schedule on track, so I'll probably be heading to bed soon. Please know if I don't get back to you tonight I will tomorrow. All love and hugs from me. Thank you for making a girl feel heard. Today I flipped back and forth between CNN and Fox News. Was interesting to see how the broadcasting was so opposite to each other. I am definitely against police brutality and racism. The riots and looting aren't helping. But I get why it's happening. Try to be safe, everyone. I just have to say I've seen some very negative things about the whole situation on some different subreddits. Even my own city subreddit, which I thought would be fully supportive. Turns out they are the complete opposite. But there's been a whole lot of love, caring, and support coming from most subreddits, and I truly appreciate it. It means the world, honestly. What helped me was to focus on what happens during the day, which is much less reported on, shown on Reddit. Minnesota's true colors come out during the day. I've read so many comments about how many people thought of Minnesota as being progressive. MN nice. For a few days I agreed. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. But I found the positivity of this state has outweighed the negativity by a long shot. Even on Reddit, there has been so much brigading on our subreddits that it is ridiculous. Especially at night when most Minnesotans are sleeping. But there has been so much generosity during the day in Minnesota, it gives me hope. From the food donations to the amount of people willing to drive down there and just help clean up the mess from rioters. After a week of this, I've just found I need to focus on the positivity. God, I remember 4 months ago watching videos of police officers in China silencing the HK protesters, thinking about how insane it was then. Now I wake up and see the same thing happening to the BLM protesters. To anyone who plans to go out and protest, please remember to wear a mask. Not only because of the virus but also to help protect you from inhaling tear gas. And some form of eye protection, swim or ski goggles are ideal. But sunglasses will also work to keep you safe from pepper spray. Don't be afraid to defend yourself if worst comes to worst. To all the people ITT who don't understand what race has to do with it, fine. Take race out of the equation. Are you okay with cops kneeling on people's necks? Breaking down people's doors and shooting them when they aren't even in the right house? Do temperamental, easily frightened, trigger-happy frat boys who fancy themselves a super-secret brotherhood sound like quality law enforcement to you? When an authoritative group is allowed to act with impunity, too many give in to cruel, animalistic treatment of people they have hidden, or not so hidden, prejudice against sex workers, drug addicts, the poor, the mentally ill, victims of domestic violence, and yes, people of color. Too many give in and not enough stand up to it. We need police reform. This is not acceptable. As a black man, seriously, this comment section is exactly why I'm away from social media these days. I'm deeply hurt by what you're saying, and before you post SMTH, remember there are actual human beings with feelings reading your comments. Edit, a lot of amazing people commented. I wanna say thank you so much for being an ally, and thank you for helping me with your kind words, and Kid Stranger, thank you for the gold. I would urge everyone who's bringing up the looting of businesses, small or large, to attend a protest in their city if they can. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I've been to a few so far. Every one I've seen has been peaceful and powerful. Looters and vandals have been separate groups who are using this chaos to profit. I'm a conservative with a truly honest question. I'm genuinely trying to understand the movement, so please don't downvote. What's the goal of the protests? Police accountability. That's the one I know for sure, but what's the goal specifically for black people? Is it a piece of legislation that people are hoping for? Edit, a lot of great comments. Too many to reply to. I really appreciates all of them. This was so much more eye-opening and constructive than the hatred and name-calling I've seen towards other conservatives in other threads and on Twitter. And trust me, I know half the time the conservatives start it. Keep up the fight. Everyone will always have my support in practicing their First Amendment right. But please do it peacefully. Let the media focus on the message of the movement, not the violence. All that's being called for is police reform, police accountability and body cams. I'm not sure why these are divided issues. The right claim the Second Amendment is to make sure we fight a tyrannical government. We can avoid such things by recording and holding the government accountable. These are the same people that demand that we starve the beast and reduce government funding. Yet it's only these people who demand that cops have no accountability and the freedom to be above the law. The total flip on the subject is bizarre and inconsistent with their values. I'm not saying punish cops for mistakes. And I'm not saying I hate cops. We have issues and we should work to solve them. Not stagnate and demand inaction. Hong Kong is literally protesting overreach by Xi, blocking out all media and portraying the protesters exactly how the right, here in the States, are portraying our own protesters. I'm not sure how this is a divided issue, but here we are. To all the people saying all lives matter, no one's saying other people's lives don't matter. That's not the point. If someone's house was on fire, would you say, all houses matter, and make the firefighters go to all other houses before getting to the house that was on fire? No, you'd say, right now, that house is on fire and they need help. Because right now they matter. That's what Black Lives Matter is about. I really wish I could go to one of these protests. We all agree that an innocent man never deserved to die. And we all can agree that we need change. It feels frustrating to not be able to stand out in the open with others right now. But there are plenty more of us supporting the cause. Even if it has to be from home. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.